Alright everybody, welcome back to the channel. I am very excited for today's video and grateful that I even have the opportunity to actually create it in the first place, because today we'll do the 1.5k sub Q&A special. I promised you guys that if we reach 1500 subs this month, I'd answer all your questions, and you absolutely smashed that goal, which I do appreciate a lot. Like, this does motivate me to keep releasing videos and keep improving the quality of the channel. So thanks to everybody who subscribed, and let's get straight into it. Bakou asks, which YouTuber fall off are you genuinely sad about? Now this is an interesting question because I sometimes do cover fallen off YouTubers in my videos, and it's always an intriguing concept to me. But while most of these fallen off influencers just gained success through chasing trends and therefore had their downfall coming, there are still some that I do genuinely feel sad about because I consider them to actually be likable and competent YouTubers in their prime. For instance, one of the main reasons I went so hard on Jake the Viking while talking about the MrBeast allegations was because I really used to respect him. I think he did come across as a great guy while on MrBeast, and even after that he always seemed like a positive role model, so it did feel really depressing to watch him just turn into this compulsive liar who blames everyone else for his own failures. Now most people would probably point to people like iDubbbz or Leafy when asked about fallen off YouTubers they were genuinely disappointed in, but to be honest with you, I just never watched any of them during their prime, so the only other example I can think of is Andre Turbia. He used to make these great high effort animated videos brutally dunking on other YouTubers, but now he just creates this general life advice content, which did feel like a massive letdown because I did consider him to be a competent commentary channel. Now Superorbs asks, what do you think kept you engaged with creating YouTube content consistently, and what made you specifically pick the commentary niche? Now what keeps me engaged really is the community interactions. Like honestly, if my videos consistently got no views, I'd feel extremely depressed. I have absolutely no idea how some channels can upload to only like 5 people watching for years, because the community really does motivate me. Now as to why I picked commentary, I guess I've always been somewhat aware of the negative side of YouTube. You know, the people scamming their audience, lying to their fans, etc. I've never been the type of person to like watch a feel-good Markiplier video or something. I've always been focused on the negative. So because I kept noticing all of these scumbag YouTubers, I decided that if I do want to create content, it should be commentary, because even if I just convinced one person with this video, for example, that the Ring is a liar, that's already a win in my book, you know? Like at the end of the day, something like gaming content, it doesn't really accomplish anything. Don't get me wrong, it entertains people, that's a positive. I'm not anti-gaming or anything like that, but if you want to create videos that have the possibility to actually get something done, to change people's minds, to bring awareness to something, then you gotta do commentary in my opinion. That's why I make commentary content, because I do want to actually bring something to the table that might lead to, for instance, some YouTubers stopping their dishonest behavior. Do you feel like you're sometimes too mean in your videos? Now this is a question that I get asked a lot, and it used to just straight up baffle me because I really go into videos with no intention of just like making fun of people. I always try to provide actual criticism, so I never understood where this sentiment that I was being mean or making fun of people came from. But then at some point I realized people perceive me as mean because of the way I frame my videos. See, most other people in the commentary community make it very clear that their videos are opinionated. For instance, let's look at ChatLogic's channel. Blacks, you will never be famous, give up. This is what being a lefty loser does to your body. Overweight Indian lies to everyone. Like, you expect to hear ChatLogic just insult these people based on the title and thumbnail alone. Now on the other hand, I frame my videos as more neutral. Like with all of these videos right here, they appear to be primarily objective and informative. So I guess it just throws people off when I then add an insult in here and there. Because although I rarely make fun of people and I try to focus on just information, when I do throw a jab, I'm usually quite harsh. Now I did consider cutting out all insults completely, because I now have enough self-awareness to realize which parts of my scripts could be seen as insulting, but to be honest with you, that's just me, that's just my personality. Like, I'm the type of person that's definitely gonna call the Ring a basement pissing lowlife and Cam Nuggets an unwashed loser at least a couple of times if I'm gonna spend 30 minutes talking about them. And also, I just personally feel like most people that I cover, they absolutely deserve to be made fun of, so I'm not remorseful about anything. Therefore, I do get the "you're being too mean" criticism, but I'm just not willing to remove like such a core part of my personality from my videos. I'm just not a super friendly person. Like, what did you expect? I make commentary videos. Now Tekkimorin asks, would you rather have a Pornhub account with your full legal name and a profile picture of you suited up, or have a pornographic LinkedIn profile where you exclusively post lewd images of yourself under your real name? Fantastic question, very relevant to the channel as well. Now I feel like I definitely do not want to get to know the kind of person that not only created a Pornhub account in the first place, but then also actively uses it to interact with people on their website under their full name. Like, you gotta be a complete psychopath to use that platform this way. On the other hand, posting lewd images on your LinkedIn is definitely gonna lose you a lot of job opportunities, but I don't value most people on LinkedIn anyway. I think it's kind of a fraud platform, so I guess I would choose the LinkedIn option and just put my job as something porn related, and the next time I need to get an actual job, I gotta make sure to apply to a company without an account on LinkedIn. Now, Emo Elissa asks, where are you from? Listen, I feel like literally no one in the commentary community managed to like correctly identify my accent. I've had people tell me I sound like I'm South African, others ask me if I'm Korean, some dude called me Swedish, and I even had a guy refer to me as French Canadian, which I personally found to be extremely offensive. Now, before I answer this question, write a comment right now guessing where I'm from. I really want to see what other interesting countries people try to pinpoint me to. Alright, so I am actually part Austrian, part Hungarian. Now you might say, well, you don't sound like that at all. Yeah, there's a reason for that. I actually moved to the United States as a kid and I lived there for quite a while, which is where I developed my accent. Now, during my time in the US, I felt like my English was downright flawless. Like, people couldn't even tell that I was a foreigner back then. I did really speak with an American accent, but of course, ever since I moved back to Eastern Europe, my proficiency sort of deteriorated because I just don't speak English at all other than when I make these videos, which is why my accent evolved into this hybrid thing no one can exactly pinpoint. But I do feel like when I move back to the US and get used to speaking English again, it will hopefully start to sound a lot clearer and better again. Now, DTP 2500 asks, aside from working on YouTube and your day-to-day job, what else do you like to do? I play tennis semi-competitively, I practice at least 5 times a week, and I participate in a lot of tournaments because I'm trying to get a tennis scholarship in the next couple of years, and besides that, I also like to play paddle and I consume unhealthy amounts of caffeine. By the way, this is also why my uploads aren't like super frequent, because most people are split 2 ways. They have their job and then they try to do YouTube in their free time, but for me it's a 3-way split. Tennis does take up at the very least like 20 hours of my week, so that's why I have limited time to work on YouTube, but I try my best to make that time. Now, Women Respecter 6969 asks, do you lift? If so, for how long and for what goals? Okay, so this is the point where the Q&A just goes to shit, because this is where you all realize how unpopular my opinions on day-to-day shit truly are. I hate lifting. I used to go to the gym on and off when I was younger, but I've been consistently training again like twice a week ever since I left the army last year, because I just have to. Lifting 100% improves your running and your hitting. Like, you do need that strength training to improve your athleticism. Anyone telling you otherwise is an idiot in my opinion, but I have to literally drag myself there because I just find it so boring. Like, I really hate being in the gym lifting weights. It's not enjoyable at all to me. I thrive through like competitiveness. When I do sports, I need there to be another person I can beat. That's what makes it enjoyable, you know, the fight and struggle to get to the top and win. But when you lift weights, you're kind of just doing it for yourself, which does work for a lot of people, but for me, it just feels so like meaningless. Like, literally every single time I'm at the gym, I try to push through my workout as fast as possible, and I never talk to anyone because I really just don't want to be there. Like, there's people that actually think the gym is a great way to socialize and make friends. I don't understand how, like, at all. Like, I'm so non-receptive whenever I'm at the gym. I low-key think someone like Sydney Sweeney could ask me out while I'm in the gym and I would just ignore her to try and get my workout done as quickly as possible because I don't want to be there that bad. Like, the only aspects about the gym that I actually enjoy are calisthenics and CrossFit. So yeah, I do apologize to all my lifting homies out there, but I really just do not enjoy it at all. Now, Ilkai678 asks, how old is your sister? My sister is 34, and I am not going to question why you might ask me this specifically for the Q&A special and what your intentions were if my sister happened to be younger than me, because I do prefer to keep the contents of my stomach inside my stomach. You said that you don't play DBD, so why do you oftentimes criticize people from the DBD community in some of your content? Yeah, so a lot of people realize based on my awful background gameplay that I do not usually play DBD, so why are a lot of my videos going after people inside that community? Well, a long time ago, somebody randomly sent me information about a controversy involving a DBD streamer, and it genuinely interested me, so I made a video about it. And once I started looking into the Dead by Daylight community further, I discovered that it harbors some of the most bizarre individuals on YouTube. Like, you will not find another Probs or Void Totals in any other community, so I kind of figured that researching some of these people and introducing them to a broader audience could be quite an interesting concept, so I just experimented with that, and it seems like people really like it. So I guess I have absolutely zero interest in the video game Dead by Daylight, but I am extremely intrigued by the Dead by Daylight community. Now the homie MouchBaby reached out to me on Discord to ask which YouTubers would you have a polycule with. Also, for this to happen, we need to know if it jiggles. Now, if you don't know who MouchBaby is, he does these commentary live streams where he oftentimes reacts to my videos, so you should definitely drop him a follow. I do quite like the guy. However, MouchBaby, I don't know what a polycule is, and I do recall you referring to my home country as a third world shithole that's 7 years behind the United States in a recent reaction you did to one of my videos. So therefore, I'm gonna play the third world card here and claim that the concept of a polycule hasn't been invented here yet. Therefore, I sadly cannot answer your question. Now, Trashin1 asks, what games besides DBD do you play? You seem way too sane to only play online multiplayer. I appreciate that question, but I'm gonna be honest with you, dude, I do not play anything. The reason I haven't gotten any better at DBD is literally because I just play it to record background gameplay. I would never touch it for any other reason. Now, my older videos used to feature Minecraft and Fall Guys gameplay, but that's literally just because these were the only games my shitty computer could run. Ever since I got the new PC, I just record DBD background footage, and I literally haven't touched any other game. Like, I'm at a point in my life where I would consider playing video games as just a massive waste of time. Like, I would have to actively make time to play video games, and that's just not something I'm willing to do. I used to play a lot of Overwatch as a decent diamond tank main, but when they closed it down, I decided to not even try out Overwatch 2 and instead just give up on gaming altogether, because all the time I spend on video games I can instead invest in so many other more useful activities, and if I just wanna relax, I'll go and watch like YouTube or Twitch instead of gaming, because playing Overwatch just stressed me out anyway. Like, the only way I'd ever actually start gaming again would be if I started streaming. So yeah, let me know whether that would be something you'd be interested in. Now, this guy asks, what is your favorite source of protein? People are gonna hate me for this, but it's gotta be chickpeas. I fucking love chickpeas. Like, a chickpea based curry or Ghana masala or even just bread with chickpea hummus is prime food for me. I am a massive chickpea supporter. I even eat chickpea noodles. All the homies love chickpeas, okay? I truly feel like they are the most underrated protein source of all time. But also, did you know that there's stroopwafel flavored protein? Stroopwafel protein has to be the best protein powder I have ever tried in my entire life. I literally drink like 2 stroopwafel protein shakes a day, so stroopwafel protein is definitely also worth a shout. Now, Gamma on YouTube asks me for my 2025 goals. Now, YouTube related, I definitely want to keep uploading at least 5 videos every single month and keep improving the quality of my content so that I can eventually maybe crawl my way to 5k subs this year. But another main goal of mine is to move into a new apartment without any roommates, which I am currently saving up for. Plus, right now I am ranked in the top 1000 of tennis players in my country, and I do want to be in the top 700 by the end of the year. Peter Kovac asks, what was your main motivation for starting Materwelon? I started this channel in lockdown because I felt like it was the best opportunity to try and learn as much as possible about creating content, because everyone was locked inside, glued to their computer screens, and I've always wanted to create commentary content because I wanted to leave some sort of impact on the YouTube community, but I felt like I never had the time to. However, when lockdown came around, I realized I suddenly did have time. So that's why I started, and obviously whenever life became too stressful, I unfortunately wasn't able to keep on uploading, but I've been going strong for over half a year now, and I won't be slowing down anytime soon. Alright, this is another question I get a lot. What's the deal with my profile picture? Okay, so this is going to be the only time I'm going to give you guys the scoop about my profile picture. This is gonna make everyone watching this video right now a future OG of the channel, okay? When I started up Materwelon during the first COVID lockdown, I was only 15 years old, but that set on making commentary videos. However, I thought that people wouldn't take my opinion seriously because of my age. So I made my profile picture this rather old looking guy from a TV show I watched at that time, so that people would kind of assume I'm older and therefore respect my opinions more. Now, looking back on it, that was probably a pointless idea, but that profile picture stuck because I do like the vibe of this guy. If you actually watch the show, he comes across as extremely illiterate, ignorant, and just blunt, and I would like to go for the look of just a blatant, uneducated asshole character, because it kind of subverts expectations. So I am planning to actually keep the look of this guy and make myself a character model based on his appearance. Obviously, I won't infringe on the copyright, I'll make it distinct from the guy, but it will be loosely based on him still, because I really just like the idea of subverting expectations like this, because this dude has zero resemblance with me IRL. Now, this ties into the next question: would I ever do a face reveal? real? Honestly, yes, I would love to, but it would have to be very far in the future. Like, it's definitely gonna happen at some point, but probably not anytime soon. Right now, I do prefer to stay anonymous. This guy asks, how long is you Enos? Now, Enos is the name of the guy who I buy all my spices from, you know, because unlike most white people, I actually like to season my food. He does supply me with amazing cumin, turmeric, and sumac, if anyone even knows what that is, and he is around 6 feet tall. Thank you for asking. Melonene asks, if you had to choose one game to play for the rest of your life, which would it be? And then the same question with a song and a movie. Now, if I had to only play one game for the rest of my life, I would have to choose Wii Sports Resort. That game was just so much fun as a kid. I did enjoy all the things you could do on there, and even though I wouldn't play it right now, you gotta think of the future. Like, when I'm 70 years old and my grandchildren wanna play something with me, assuming that I haven't died of a caffeine overdose yet, Wii Sports Resort would be the perfect game to pull out. It's like actually timeless in my opinion, and I think you could play it for any occasion. As for the song, I recommend everyone check out the track Man I Is by Logic. I feel like that song is the definition of just chill music that lets you focus. I could write a whole essay with that song playing on loop while still remaining locked in, because the track is just such a vibe. But also, I could fall asleep to that song as well, since it just has such a laid-back aura. It might be one of my favorite tracks of all time, therefore I think I could listen to it forever without losing my mind. Now, regarding the movie, I would honestly choose something like Black Mirror Bandersnatch, because an interactive movie at least lets me experience 5 different movies instead of it being limited to just one, which would probably prevent me from going completely insane through having to rewatch the exact same movie over and over again. Cinemations asks, what is your favorite lolcow? Honestly, I don't really have a favorite lolcow. I think most people that commonly get referred to as lolcows collectively are some of the worst human beings alive and should immediately just leave the internet as to not humiliate themselves any further. However, if I had to pick a favorite, it would probably have to be Shelbo, because he provides a shit ton of entertainment, and in return he doesn't really cause as much harm as all the other people that are typically seen as lolcows. Speaking of lolcows, MoonlightDarkOfficial asks, do you think Kaiser will ever fix their life? Honestly, Kaiser is just such a sad topic to speak about, because he actually pretended to leave the internet to get a real job, and you know, I genuinely believed him. I thought he was just gonna go better his life, but obviously now that he has returned, it turns out that he spent his 3 months of absence just constantly hanging out in other content creators' discords 24/7 and trying to suck up to them, which apparently worked, and he's now back to claiming that anyone critical of him is a harasser. Like, criticism equals harassment in this guy's eyes. It's honestly pathetic. I feel like at this point he will just continue to live in his delusion forever, and I don't think he'll ever get his life together. I believe maybe in like 30 years he'll wake up at some point and realize, holy shit, I wasted my entire life pretending to be a victim online. What have I done? But at that point it will be way too late. Now, regarding Kaiser, would I ever make another video about him? Only if he did something really crazy, like he'd have to up the ante once again and do something incredibly malicious for me to even consider making another video, or alternatively, if I manage to grow this channel to where it could potentially overtake him in subs and relevance, then I might make a full-on retrospective piece compiling all of these 4 videos into one massive comprehensive breakdown to raise awareness about the situation. Because right now we're just unfortunately not enough people to be able to actively turn public opinion against Kaiser and make his fanbase aware of his chronic lies. Now, Anonymous Aliens 8581 asks, are you gonna stick to DBD background gameplay, or are you planning to play other games as well? I did consider bringing back the Minecraft footage, but I feel like it could kind of become too distracting, so I will stick to DBD because that's the only game I'm looking to actually improve my skills in. Plus, I'm gonna let you in on a little secret of mine. The people who are commenting that my DBD gameplay sucks ass actually boost my videos in the algorithm through their comments, so it's definitely beneficial for me to just keep playing the game. XaFanTV asks, what's your opinion on Musk? I absolutely cannot believe that I used to defend Elon Musk. Like, when he took over Twitter a couple of years back, I actually thought that it would be a good thing. I must have been a complete idiot, because in reality this guy has proven himself to be a total fool. He's publicly embarrassed himself and humiliated himself over 10,000 times in the last year alone. He completely abandoned his prior political beliefs to shill for parties he knows nothing about, and worst of all, he's just so incredibly unfunny. Elon Musk has proven beyond a shadow of a doubt that you can absolutely get filthy rich without actually being intelligent. Now, Adobe H1E asks, which editing software do you use? I used to edit everything with Shotcut, but then I moved to the big city and started connecting with a bunch of other editors, and they told me that Shotcut is quite possibly the worst editing platform I could use and that no one is gonna take me seriously if I keep editing with Shotcut, so I just switched to Premiere Pro. Alright, last question. Bakou asks, how did you end up making commentary content in English? How long does it take you to make your videos, and which YouTubers do you watch in your free time? I know this dude Bakou personally, and I am 100% certain that it took him a lot of brain and willpower to write out a comment this long in English, so I heavily appreciate him participating in the Q&A. Shout out to Bakou. And to answer his questions, the reason I make content in English simply comes down to me wanting my videos to be digestible for the largest possible audience. If I made my videos in Italian or Austrian or Hungarian, I would immediately alienate over 95% of my possible viewers. So since I started my channel right after moving back from the US, making the videos in English just felt like a no-brainer to me. Now, as to how long it takes me to make my videos, it heavily depends on the topic. Like with some topics I spend multiple hours researching and around 3 to 4 hours scripting and then another 5 on editing, meaning it's a time investment of a combined 12 hours. But with other topics that are more conclusive from the get-go, where a lot of the research has already been lined out by other people, it only takes around 8 hours to fully create a video. Usually you can tell by the runtime. This one, for example, only took me around half as long as these ones. So it does vary from topic to topic, but let's just not talk about how long this one took. Now, which YouTubers do I watch in my free time? Honestly, for personal entertainment, I watch Big Bungie, but now he's been terminated for harassment. Therefore, the only people remaining that I actively consume content of are March Baby, QnA, Willie Mac Show. I know a lot of people on here hate Willie Mac, but I've been a massive Willie Mac Show supporter for many years now. I think his content is criminally underrated. Toastify, Scott Schaefer, who I am a massive fan of. I think he does have some of the best topic selection on YouTube. And if I want to consume something more family friendly, I do like to watch Ryan Trahan sometimes. I also check out some true crime YouTubers here and there. Anyway, that's it with all the questions you sent me. I really hope I didn't miss any. Massive thank you to everyone who participated and subscribed to the channel. I appreciate you guys so much. Leave any follow-up questions down below, and yeah, I will see you in the next one.